unfortunately.
Are you?
Yeah.
Sick?
Unfortunately.
Well, what kind of sick?
I don't know.
Are you contagious?
I assume not, but I don't know.
So I've been trying to get a hold of you since November. I've turned in some complaint forms via email. Did you see those?
I haven't received any complaint forms via email.
I put you in the caption bar and I put Jamie in there. Jamie replied back to me. But you hadn't seen any complaint forms?
I haven't. Do you have them?
I do.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I complained back then, and that's been 4 months ago, you know, and Jamie said you and him would watch, or y'all would watch the body camera footage. If you found any wrongdoing, y'all would take care of it. Did you find any wrongdoing on the Casey's incident with Parnell?
I was disappointed in several things from the Casey's incident.
Okay. And I know what we were disappointed in.
I think the situation could have been handled better on.
Here's the complaint.
Okay.
I need you to sign it when you're more than welcome to read it. Received it, and then I'll get a copy of it and we'll move forward.
Where's the
That's for later. Received by Jordan Cooksey.
Okay. You care about right across the top.
Wherever you think it needs to be.
You just want something on the front page or all of it?
I want a copy of every bit of it.
Okay.
That's been signed.
I do it backwards.
All right, while she's doing that, I got another complaint.
Okay.
If we can wait, I just didn't want to take up too much of your time.
Do you want the original back?
Yes, please.
Original plus a copy? Or just the original?
Original and a copy, if you could.
Okay.
Okay.
Friday, November 8th, 9:07 a.m., I was exercising my civil rights, freedom of speech, freedom to redress my grievances from my government. Do you know what I mean by that?
I'm not going to get into it.
Just curious. of expression. You'll have a policy that says something about when a citizen requests a supervisor, what's your policy on that?
Policy. We don't have a policy that specifically says supervisor for one or a small rural department. All they have to respond instantaneously. In this case, write the information and provide a supervisor as soon as possible.
The reason I asked, I let him know way before the excessive force for my civil rights. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I let him know to call a supervisor so we could clear this up so we're not here today. He never radioed or nothing. So you don't have a policy where he has to call a supervisor?
Not at that point in time, just that he would need to notify the supervisor.
That's something I'll bring. Say it again.
Just that he would need to notify the supervisor at some point if it was asked for.
I don't understand what you mean. Later, he has to notify you?
If he would collect information and relate it to me.
But what if there was an illegal arrest going on and a supervisor?
If I could come out, then I would respond, yes. Unfortunately, I wasn't in town.
I didn't ask just for Jordan. I did ask for Jordan after the fact, but I asked for any supervisor. Is Jamie Farrell a supervisor over the detective?
No.
Okay.
He currently is. He was not that time.
Okay. Ooh, that's a big one. This has to do with my civil rights that were violated.
Originally copied.
It's like a minute ago, please.
Okay. Stuck on the paper clip. Oh, that she's
Just a longer page.
Let me do these two and I'll stick that one in. I'll have to get a legal.
While she's doing that, I don't want to waste time, but I got a couple more things I can talk to you about.
Okay.
If he'll do that to me, knowing he's on camera with his camera, with my camera, knowing I know my rights, what might he do to somebody that don't know their rights? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If he's that arrogant, that egotistic, that he's going to arrest me for speaking, what might he do to, what might have he have already done to Walnut Ridge citizens or United States citizens passing through the service? That's scary, sir. That's real scary. That he works for you. That's why I'm here today complaining, because he needs to be gone.
Okay.
He needs to be gone. Violation of my civil rights and
We have legal.
and whenever he violated my civil rights again, he forcibly obtained my ID when I was arrested. That's Fourth Amendment. He violated a bunch. And he needs to be gone. I don't feel comfortable going through my home, my beautiful hometown anymore. I don't feel comfortable. And I'm not going to feel comfortable as long as Parnell, Detective Chris Parnell, still has a badge.
Okay.
I think you need to watch the film again, read my complaint, and rewatch it. And I think if you're here to protect and serve, then I think you need to get rid of him and start the paperwork for decertification. Because he violated civil rights. I mean, you know what I mean? Is that serious to you? That's as serious as it gets. That's as serious as it gets with a police officer. When a police officer knowingly violates your civil rights, they lose what? Their qualified immunity. And y'all run around a lot of times saying, "Oh, are you a sovereign citizen?" You police officers that have this immunity are the only sovereign ones I see. You understand that? And you can't get sued when you break laws, that's the only sovereignty I see.
Hi, you need a pothole list?
Okay.
I said, how are you?
Not too bad.
You need a pothole
You'll do
list?
that to me.
Yes,
You'll tell me
please.
what you do. When I talked to
Sharon, how
the
you
mayor
doing?
over there about this, he said we need to get an external review. Somebody to look it over, and I don't want it to be a police officer. It needs to be somebody with a law degree.
Okay.
Look this over, and the mayor said whatever they figured out would be what we went with. Who do we call to do that? How do we watch that? Who do you need to get hold of?
That's a great question.
And I'm gonna follow up. I want you to follow up with me on all these complaints. I want you to follow up with, because I'm not gonna have a bullet in the bag and run around here doing that. Since I've had these problems with Parnell, you wouldn't believe the email I got telling me about their Parnell story. And I'm gonna follow up on that too. Make sure we have a date. If you look at the body and video again, it's
All right, that's ma'am.
1440.
All right. I'll take care of it.
Parnell's shaking and he's trying to look me in like it's right here. He's under control of shaking. I don't know if he's got medical issues or what, but I think it was because he violated my civil rights and he was just on a power trip. But we need to look into that.
Look into the shaking.
Yes, we need, you know, he don't need to, if he's got a gun and he's doing this right here, shaking, that's dangerous, sir. If he can't control his
This will do a,
body, he don't need to be, well, he don't need to be a hired gun. You understand? You know, that's scary stuff right there. Should be, anyway. It is the citizens. Well, let's hear about officer safety. Money, we never hear much about citizen safety. Right? It's always to the officer safety. For citizen safety, we don't need Parnell he's a detective. Shouldn't he know these laws? He should. He should. So if an officer that works for you violates someone's freedom of speech and civil liberties, what usually would be your action?
Would be something along the reprimand.
okay, how do you get it to load in?
Like suspension?
That's their step up through the reprimand. It depends on the officer's previous actions
get to go to another tray.
reprimands that they have had.
I'm the only one that has ever filed a complaint to my officer. Since you've been here. I'll probably tell you why that is.
I usually do envelopes.
The time I come in here talking about the I got showed, Parnell was in here pushing his way around, acting like I was the problem. He told me 3 times, I asked him before we come up for a meeting, how do I get that file? He said, we just gotta ask for it. I asked 3 times and I left here that night without it. He was glaring at me. The mayor was standing right here and I said, sir, after I realized the tide was turning and I was getting treated like I was the problem, I said, can I talk to you about something? Can I talk to you about this situation? He said, no, if you're dealing with a police matter, I'm not going to get involved in it. So when we come up here to complain and an officer, the same officer I'm complaining on shows up and treats me bad, that detours a lot of public from complaining on an officer. Yeah, it's intimidation tactics. And it happens everywhere. Happened to me in Pocahontas. Every charge was dropped. Joe Ryder, unlike Layton here, and Judge Dean decided that wasn't enough. He looked at their 2 charges, kind of like Parnell. It'd be like if this prosecutor looked at those 2 charges and said, oh man, this is his freedom of speech. Oh, we ain't charging on this. But instead of doing that, they said, oh, that ain't gonna fit. Let's double down on the corruption and throw in another charge. Sounds a lot like the McCurdo deal. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. He went up there to complain. I mean, this is this is what y'all got sent over so many years ago. 'Cause I don't want Walnut Ridge's taxpayers' money. I want constitutional officers. Is that too much to ask for here in this town?
I wouldn't think so.
Do you think Parnell violated any of my civil rights that day?
I think he made an arrest based on what is currently in the legislation, by the law on it, and I think he used his discretion on the arrest, and if the prosecutors didn't charge on it, I can't speak on why they didn't charge on it.
John Wilkerson, do you know who that is? Who is that?
That's municipally.
Did the mayor show you, or I sent a video, I think, to you, the mayor, and everybody. Did you watch that video? Did you hear what John Wilkerson said?
I did.
What did he say on the F word in public?
Then should be arrested on it.
Never. He said an officer should never arrest, but then Parnell arrested me for it.
Unfortunately, I didn't have that video beforehand.
Or what would happen?
Or we would distribute it amongst the officers and say, you know, look,
Can you train your officers on that?
it's
They need to be, because I don't see how you'll go around enforcing the law when you don't know it yourself.
well, I mean, again, that's just what the statute said.
But that's okay. Then that gets back to this. Do you know that? And I asked you before, I can't remember your answer, but evidently, if I'm asking again, it's probably because we didn't get the right answer. Do you know the difference between obscene language and swear words?
Obscene language, yes.
What's obscene language?
Language that basically paints someone in a different, poor light.
Has a lot to do with sexual talk and a few other things. Swear words are protected by the First Amendment of the United States. I can run around and flip a cop off everywhere I go. Is that protected by the First Amendment? And surely if I tell Parnell, I don't give a, he wrote on the statement, he lied on the statement, said I said F you. You watched the video, did I say F you?
No.
I said, I don't give a F. So surely if I can say F you or do this, which means that, then surely I could express my freedoms by saying I don't give a F, right? If I can say F you.
I'm not going to give you legal advice.
No, I'm not asking. I'm getting to the point to where my swear words doesn't fit that statute. And I'm glad we've been able to get there with you. If I can say F you, or if I can flip off, which I don't run around flipping cops off and say F you every time you see me, I was respectful to you, okay? But I was exercising my speech. I was trying to get answers, freedom of press, trying to get answers from a police officer on how something went down. And if I can say F you, and I can say that, then surely I can say I don't give a F. Surely. Okay? But he arrested me. And if that's constitutionally protected, then he violated my civil rights. So therefore, now that I've explained to you, you don't have to take my word for it. I want you to Google it or listen to John Wilkerson, who's the director of the legislation in Arkansas. He's the top cookie. How was I in your mind, how was I disorderly now that you know that? How was I disorderly that day?
I've already answered this question.
Now that you know that a swear word isn't an obscene language, it's protected. The flag in there and the words that are protected aren't, hi Jordan, how you doing, this nice creamy stuff. It protects the hard speech. That's what distinguished this country as a free country. It's built. What he violated was rights that he built, that this country was built on, sir. Do you agree with that? It was built on rights to express our freedoms in speech. This language that I use is protected. You've agreed with that?
I agree that you have freedom of speech, yes.
And you agree that the F word and the finger, pretty sure, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth at all. Do you know that those are protected by the Constitution? The F word and the middle finger?
I know the freedom of speech is, yeah.
Yeah. What I'm saying is the words that I used that day, that he booked me on, that you think I might have been a little out of line too, and him.
I just said it went with the statute.
Yeah, I know, but I'm afraid that y'all take the statute and interpret it whichever way fits for y'all. Instead of understanding the law you're enforcing, now I'm cuffed, bleeding, roughed up, my back's spasming, my legs coming out from me. I want an internal investigation over the first complaint form I turned in on what happened with that. Yes, I did turn one on Lemons. I should have the next day wrote one on Parnell. But he was up here being a bully and such. And I was trying not to get retaliated on like it's been done before. I want an internal investigation over the Casey deal and the external investigation. But I want to see what you come up with.
Okay.
I want to test my government to see if the chief of police is okay with this and keeps a man that violated my civil rights on the force, or if he does the we got 4 witnesses, and we got video proof of him grabbing my son's throat. And then Ethan would say, "Oh, we think we're offering him this plea deal. Why does the criminal get a bargain or a deal?"
I can't answer.
I can. The reason, Ethan, I said, "Why? We don't agree to this." He said, "Well, in the best interest of the courts, we think it's this way because Lucas, it costs $15,000 to start a trial over here in Lawrence County, and then it goes up to nothing."
Okay.
We'll go from there. Thank you.
I'll be
I've
right
been
back.
calling to talk to you for 2 days, leaving messages. What was the issue there?
I've been out sick.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. They told me he was out Monday, but I wasn't sure. Yeah, that's fine. I was just checking, but, when I turned in that complaint form in November, and that's been 4 months ago, and then as soon as they dismissed it, I've been up there trying to get a hold of you to turn these in, and I didn't understand. I thought you were dodging me.
Oh, I got you.
Okay, so that's why I was asking. All right.
I'll be right back.
I got a question for you. If you got a second.
Okay.
That camera there, does it have audio and video?
She doesn't know.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Could I turn in a Freedom of Information Act request with you?
You want it?
I was just asking her, can I turn in a Freedom of Information Act request with you?
Yes.
Annie, yes. Yes.
I'd like to get that camera footage from this morning.
Okay.
I got
Here
it.
is an
Okay.
affidavit. Have you filled an affidavit out before?
I don't think so.
Okay. What you're going to do here is you're going to put down the information you know. In this case, it'd be the name. Then here is where you're going to write out what's going on, and it says you can continue on the back of the page if necessary.
My original complaint.
Okay.
There, it says it all.
That's fine. And then you're going to sign it in front of a notary with your information, and then I'll take it and forward it to the prosecutor.
So,
Okay.
wonder why the police department isn't readily available to citizens.
Sheesh.
Every other town I've ever been in, you can walk in there and ask for a copy of a file or talk to an officer. When this building was new over here, you could walk in the front doors and there was a big counter right there, and we could deal with the officers and whatever. What changed there?
I don't know.
Wonder why the police department doesn't have a phone number where I can just call and talk to an officer.
They're all, since no one stays there all the time, they're all forwarded to dispatch.
Okay.
Most departments in the county are.
Yeah. I'm asking you to figure out something where we can open this police department up to where at least the public can come in the front door and visit with an officer if need be. You know,
Okay.
we don't need to shut the public out. If y'all work for us, we should be able to go in there and visit and get a copy or do whatever we need to do. We don't need locked out of police department. I don't know a single police department in this area that you can't walk into. You know what I mean? I watched numerous videos online, and every police department is open to the public. I'm not sure why Walnut Ridge. Mayor, do you know why Walnut Ridge Police Department is open to the public?
Yes. Give me a minute, I'll be in there soon.
Yes, sir.
Oh, this has a jam in it.
It just seems
Look, I'm getting to it.
it just seems non-transparent that we can't even go in there and visit with an officer and get a copy of the file.
That started when, the person that was over there wasn't open 24 hours.
No, we're not 24 hours.
And that started when the person over there had a stroke. And then, going through some of the records, they weren't all filed. And, we did it as a cost-saving measure, trying to condense the operation because of the financial status of the city 10 years ago. And that's the primary reason. And the hope is someday we'll be able to combine it to where we have one central drop-in place, which is how it operates now. We've just got to get them over here. But the dispatch is trying to cut back. You know, using dispatch is something we've worked on for 30 years. The city has.
I understand.
Okay, Kathy.
I just didn't know, and if the financial situation is better now, we need to open that public up to the people.
And you've got to be able to get qualified employees. Is another issue. And it's hard for a small town to be able to employ all the staff that they actually need because of the larger towns that are trying to pay their
All right, thank you. Sure. Do we know Chris Parnell's date of birth? Can we look that up on the files, public record on his applications?
It's not needed. If you write his name and then for address, you can write police department.
Oh, sure.
That's adequate.
I just want to make sure, you know, that, we get the right Chris Parnell here.
Mm-hmm.
417, is that it? 317? North. Reach out to them, that way you know kind of how to deal with this. It's, who is Walnut Ridge's city attorney?
Adam Butler.
You got an email address for him?
I don't know his email address.
Just a second. Is my phone? Oh, it's right here.
email address is A Butler, B-U-T-L-E-R,
A Butler.
at paralegal.lawyer.com.
Lawyer.com.
Let me ask you a question right quick. I'm trying to get these copies. I can get to here,
Mm-hmm.
and then it picks up right here on the second page. Will that be okay?
Yeah, I think that'd be all right. Yeah, that'd be all right.
Okay. Do you want me to make?
So, I need just that one and then the other one you can hand back to me. I think that's it.
That's it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, so, on the other one, remember how I didn't? So we will need 2 copies.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when somebody comes at you aggressively, what statute is that? When they come at you aggressively? Yeah.
I don't know under
It's assault. But I was just curious. When somebody comes at you aggressively, that's assault. It is. Wow.
Just original. Kathy, will you, play this to be shredded, please?
Sure.
And we'll shred it. Go ahead and shred that, please.
Okay.
Did all of that, just bought concrete, then it wasn't, as long as concrete, it
So
still
we play the
didn't,
concrete.
didn't go over that.
Correct. Kathy, write down on paper that Luke Peppers request, FOIA request by Luke
Okay.
Peppers, footage of the, city hall camera,
Okay.
please. And date it today.
Okay.
it on the one that, y'all kept. See, there's my original.
Right,
That.
yes,
And yeah.
yes, I kept that.
Is it stapled all back together on the one y'all had with it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I had it for the one that me and Jordan signed and
Right,
copied,
it
and it was missing some of that. I want to make sure that the full complaint's there. So you gonna do an internal investigation over these?
Mm-hmm.
Who does the internal investigations?
Be me and Jamie.
Okay, good. That's all right. Thank you.
Welcome. Isn't that weird?
That's very strange.
Because it's such to that bit.
That's it.
It just needs to be notarized.
Okay. Are one of you ladies a notary of the public?
Yes,
Could I get you to notarize this?
sure, let me run upstairs and get my stamp.
You can't read that. That's the second complaint.
Walnut Ridge City Hall. What's your address? 921 Southeast Front. That would be on Tuesday. Monday night or Tuesday morning before 7. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Is this what I'm notarizing?
Yes.
It shows, chief, oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It says Jamie Hill on here. Is it okay for me to do a notary?
Yes, it's decided, you circle what you are.
Okay. I need to make a copy of this, sir.
No.
I'd like a copy of it,
You want a copy?
please. Do you need to sign it that you received it, anybody, or?
No, since that's citizen generated, I just take it and turn it immediately into the prosecutor, and then the prosecutor, if they need anything else, I provide them that.
Are those the new hand towels in the dispenser in there?
I don't know.
They feel a little thinner, I like it better.
I got several two-ply when I ordered, but I have no idea what's in there.
Yeah. They feel a little different, and actually, they seem to do a better job.
They got changed the picture.
I haven't, Michelle may have, but I haven't.
Like it's gonna storm.
Mhm.
These complaints that are turned in, do they stay in this office or do they go over to the police department and something? Both, good. So we're gonna see about getting an external review. And you're gonna reach back out to me on when you hear from, you know, reach out to the municipal league and see what's.
Yeah, what they suggest.
Okay. Sounds good, and I just expect you to reach out and let me know what's.
There's a second one. There's two of these.
There's two of them?
Yes.
What do you mean?
You made a copy of it.
He gave me two complaints. He made a copy of the first one, and then.
Oh,
That's
the affidavit, right?
Oh, this is that David. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
yeah.
I haven't stapled those
I'm
together.
sorry. I looked straight at that.
You're right. We're all human, we all make mistakes.
Now, I have to make a copy for my files upstairs.
Okay.
Let's see, this is this. And this.
I suggested, and I hadn't got to talk to him, but I'm wanting John Wilkerson to make a public service announcement or a memorandum or something, and he needs to send it out not only to the police department, but the prosecutors as well. Because Pocahontas didn't prosecute on that straight shit.
Oh, did they?
Come on, you know what I mean? Come on. We got freedom of speech. They prosecute him, Joe Grider, he ain't scared. But whenever I filed a lawsuit in Pocahontas, I was like, oh, that ain't where we're stopping. We filed a lawsuit against Joe Grider for unethical behavior.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's probably why this prosecutor decided he didn't want to touch something that had to do with violation of my civil rights. Do you see that he violated my civil rights?
I'm not going to get into that until I take a better look at it.
Good. That's good. That's good. I'll take that as I thought you better you wouldn't get into this. Until you take a better look at it, it needs a hard look. We don't need officers like that. You've been around hard enough too. Guarantee you know the situation that he handles more bullyish and pulling his wheel than protecting and serving. It used to be serve and protect. Serve and protect. Now guess what it is? Harass and collect. You're generating revenue and preying on citizens who don't know their rights. And that's sad. That's sad. Our forefathers, my grandfather, he fought for this country. And for people to act like they're a peace officer and then run around and put hands on me and arrest me for my freedom of speech. We can't have it.
Gotcha. We'll get
And
it turned into
and
prosecutor.
if Parnell continues to stay up here, I'm going to Freedom of Information Act request. Every tip they give me, I'm sick of it. As you should be too.
I understand.
We don't want McCurdos and Parnells hanging around here.
Right. Thank you.
You got everything?
I'm gonna double check to make sure I think I did.
Yeah, 'cause this copier ate stuff, and I shredded all the copies that didn't work, so.
Yeah. I don't care if you did or didn't, maybe somebody will pick it up and read it and like.
Yeah, Parnell arrested me for my freedom of speech. There's no two ways about it. That's why the prosecutor don't want nothing to do with it.